Good morning from day 164. So, back on trail, having left the famous cabin. So, cabin is I guess a bit of an institution. It's in, or just near town of Andover, and it's been run for like 30 years or so by Honey, and it gets a little rough around the edges, I'll say that. You know, there's, it's definitely lived in, but pretty comfortable, and they're great. A lot of stories, a lot of features for hikers. There is a great breakfast and a great dinner, homemade family style cooking, and you all sit around together. It was wonderful. The resupply was at a place called Mills Market in Andover itself. Not the greatest selection and a little bit pricey, but kind of figure that's part of the course when we're getting into more remote areas. But the cabin itself, I definitely recommend a stop in there if it works out for you. Now, today is kind of not really got much of a plan. I have a bit of a potential end target for Bemis Mountain, which is in about 19 miles. But that's considerably more than I've been doing the last few days. Whether or not because of humidity or Nahusic notches or technical stuff, I don't know. So we'll see how far we go. I'm going up what is supposedly a relatively easy climb up to Wyman Mountain. Then there's a little down and up, something called Moody Mountain, which apparently is quite tough. And then there's a campsite there, South Arm, where Rifle and Kit Kat are going back to the cabin. And I guess I could too, if I chose, though I don't have anything booked. So, hold on a second. It's so warm and humid again. But, yeah, so if I don't stop there or get out there, then potentially it's up something called Old Blue Mountain, which looks tough and apparently can be rough in the wet. So again, I'd like to try and get it done today if possible, but we'll see. The forecast for today was like 70% chance of rain and thunderstorms, but that's dropped to like 40%, or at least 40% when I was checking the weather this morning. And then the chance of rain tomorrow has risen up to 80%. So again, I think maybe I'll get some intermittent showers today, and then potentially a little bit dumped on tomorrow, which is another reason why I'd like to go past Old Blue if I can. And then the short to medium plan is potentially going to Stratton and the main roadhouse in 3 to 4 days, like 4 days probably. So today's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then in sometime late on Wednesday. But again, I haven't booked it because I'm going to wait and see how today and then tomorrow are in terms of mileage. Like I say, my mileage has generally been down a little bit since coming out of the Whites. I don't know if that's the humidity or fatigue or nervous trepidation or a little bit of maudlin about the changing circumstances, switching to solo hiking, or it could be a combination of all of them. What I will say is that I've really enjoyed the solo time over the last few days. So I've been hiking in and around people, so notably Sassafras and Kit Kat and Rifle, but not necessarily hiking with them. And it's just kind of been, I changing my plans here, changing my plans there, doing, random, whatever feels right. And that's been, nice. It's can't remember if I said this on, here, or if it was in a conversation I was having with someone else. But like, that's was pretty much my experience of hiking prior to coming out here. I was pretty much a solo hiker. I did, most of my hikes have been solo, and on those I usually just kind of walk until I'm tired, and I will then pitch a tent somewhere that I know is like got great views or is sheltered or whatever, and I don't really worry about distances or whatever. But over one of the things that I love that I've definitely learned out here is that I really enjoy hiking with people. People that you like and really, really get on well with. So the Tramily has been an absolute crutch for me for a lot of this hike, and I've really enjoyed that. But at the same point, I probably have become overly reliant on it. So it's been nice to to get back to solo hiking. And whilst I'm a little sad at the moment that I'm not hiking with the Tramily, again, I'm having a great time just rediscovering my joy of hiking solo. And again, I'm no doubt we'll see the Tramily again at some point, hopefully fairly soon, but if not, then at some point. But this is, like I say, there's something great. And I was talking to a guy called Bittergoat, who is an unbelievable hiker. He's redoing the AT again. He's triple crowned multiple times. He's on the board for the PCT. He's like somewhat of an absolute legend. I'm a little bit in awe every time I see him. I'm like, and he pretty much solo hikes all the time. And I was talking to him about it and about how, it's it's real nice to kind of get back to. And, you know, so we just chatted about that kind of stuff, and that's what solo hiking means, and the freedom to do what you want to do when you want to do it. So yeah, like, as always, that man is an inspiration and just a great guy. So I don't think he watches my nonsense, but on the off chance he does, thank you for everything. A bit ago, like your friendship and your advice and just general stuff is amazing, real appreciated. And the article you sent me that you wrote just resonated so good. If I remember, I may even put a link to it in here so that other people can read it, because I think it's worth a read. But anyway, the simple fact is that I'm basically just like blathering now to try and put off that I'm already sweating and my freshly laundered clothes are already wet with sweat. But it's time for me to put this away and focus so I don't die before I get too far, because that would be real embarrassing, less than a mile in. But anyway, I'm not sure what we'll see today, but I'll keep you updated. For now, as kind of always, but yeah, particularly again, happy hiking. Beautiful pond. And I've heard tell that sometimes there are moose here, but doesn't look like it today, unfortunately. Or not at the moment, at least. Okay, up and over Wyman, which, not wanting to get too cocky, was a delight. It's been a while since I've had a mountain as like cruisy and fun and enjoyable to go up as that. Like, you know, it was still, you know, a bit of effort, and I still got a little sweat on and stuff, but like the path was nice. There were some rocks and roots and stuff, but it wasn't boggy. The trail was pretty well maintained. It was a relatively easy gradient, just all round fun. And as you can see, I also met YouTube celebrity Captain Jack, who is doing a flip-flop now. So I started watching Captain Jack way back in January, when he was like early on trail and was like a great source of, not inspiration, but like a barometer of some of what to expect in some of the early days. And yeah, it was real interesting to watch him when I was nervous and a little bit terrified about what I'd committed myself to. So yeah, obviously I'm not really following people's journeys while I'm on trail, because I don't want to spoil what I've got coming up, and also very limited service. So like, it's been a while since I've seen him. I almost didn't recognize him, but he was real cool. We stopped and chatted briefly. Yeah, we took selfies and then on we went. So that was pretty cool. There's a shelter in a bit, shortly before a steep descent down and then a steep ascent up. In fact, there is the shelter. Yeah, fun times. Rebars. The top of Moody. Oh, I guess almost the top. Oh no, I spoke too soon. Still goes up. Not sure how I forgot the name of this mountain. Old Blue, which, yeah, some might say describes me because I'm old and I wear a lot of blue. But got about a mile to go to the summit. Again, I think the big steep bit was already done early, but I've got about maybe 700 feet in a mile to go up, so I'm expecting a relatively steep climb again. You can't hear it now. It's typically just up, but there is thunder kind of rumbling around, and if I did talk about it earlier that there was supposed to be rain today, and the chance had dropped like considerably from where it was. Yeah, hopefully the mic's picking up that, but it's kind of peaked back up a little bit, so it's like 50% chance of rain this afternoon. So yeah, looks like maybe it's going to hold off until I'm right on top and fully exposed, so that'll be fun. The good news is that at least it's a little cooler at the moment, because I am still roasting hot, as you can probably see from my very sweaty appearance. Dog. Yeah, like I say, miles to go. I don't know if there's any views at the top, because it could be one of these mostly tree covered peaks, but if there is, then obviously I'll show you. But in the meantime, pushing. Okay, this is almost to the top of Old Blue. I got no idea if there's going to be any views. I've just felt a couple of spots of rain. Damn it, more up. So I'm hoping that the rain will hold off a little bit longer till I can get down off this monstrosity, because I feel like the descent is going to be the same as the ascent was, which was a lot of smooth rock faces that were okay-ish going up because they were dry. But if it rains, which you can hear the thunder. But yeah, if it rains, then those rock faces going down might be slick. But that was a slog. Probably not as hard as Moody, but just like kind of constant up and up and up and up and up and up. So very glad to have got it done, and now just want to try and get the rest done. So Old Blue Mountain, 3,600 feet, not bad. Yeah. Whew. I am warm, but I suspect that won't last too long, as here comes the rain. So anyway, I'm gonna go push on, hopefully to the shelter. Huh? There's a bench in the middle of the AT. I mean, you know the rule. I mean, it's a bit of a view. Wild. Sat on a bench. The thunder seems to have gone away from now, and then yeah, there are views out there. There's still some angry-ish looking clouds, but maybe the rain's going to hold off. That would be nice. Eesh. Pretty good view. Big old lake over there. I think I head down around that, but we'll see. Beautiful. So I called into the Bemis lean-to. There's one person in the shelter, so I could stay in there. There's lots of tent sites, but they're all rocky and rooty, not great, and not entirely sure how much like cover they give, because it's, you know, it's some tall fir trees maybe, or pine trees, whatever. The water source is not great. It's very tannic and very slow. There's a pool I could scoop from, but that looked pretty stagnant. And so I'm pushing on. Now I don't think I'll get far, but I've filled up with water, and I'm just going to see if I can find a stealth spot, you know, that'll cut down the miles I have to do tomorrow. And so the downside is that there's no real water source, or no reliable water source, it says, that I'm aware of. So the next reliable water source is in like 3.7 miles, or yeah, so somewhere nearly 4 miles. So again, like, if I can cut down the amount of miles I need to do to the next water source, that's pretty cool. It just means I might have to like ration myself a little bit in terms of tonight and in the morning. It might mean that I have my morning breakfast essentials / coffee when I get to the water source. I've done that before, so that's not a huge issue. But yeah, so now it's just a case of seeing if I can find a decent stealth spot. Like there's this ridgeline that I'm on, that the shelter was on, goes for like a mile and a half. So I'm hoping to find somewhere along here, or if not, you know, just once the ridgeline starts dropping down. Yeah, and hopefully somewhere that's got some decent cover. Like, you know, this is already, you know, better cover than was at the shelter. There's water about the same as was at the shelter, so I could find somewhere around here, but like it's very close and there's an extra spot that I can see, so push on. But yeah, it's 7 o'clock, or just before 7 o'clock now, so I've got an hour and a half of daylight maybe, but I don't plan on walking for that long, so maybe at most an hour, and hopefully I'll have somewhere by then, but we'll see. So far it's no sign of anything on the stealth site options, but it's pretty epic views, even if there is a little bit of rain like spitting on me at the moment. But yeah, I'm hoping I'm going to get into some trees in a bit and yeah, see some stealth sites. Okay, I am still focused on finding a tent spot, but this is pretty epic. Just, yeah. It's about 7:30, so yeah. It doesn't look like there's a huge amount of storms in the sky, but I don't want to risk it, because there is, you know, they have been predicting storms for a while, and especially tomorrow by the looks of things. So I do want to be, you know, under some cover, under some trees if I can, and hopefully in a nice flat spot. But meanwhile, just enjoy.